Hey guys, it's Michael Todd and welcome to The.Cult.Of.Vintage. You guys, the last time we were here, Brick Rhode Antiques here in Lewisburg, Ohio, they were set up for Christmas and we found some great things. I'm excited to get back inside, see what changes have been made, what new discoveries, what new things we can see. I found some great deals, so fingers crossed, knock on wood, let's get inside. Here we go. Here are the display windows. It looks like they have more of like a winter decor going on. Look at those boots. Those will keep you warm. Brick Road and Bistro. Winter. She's had a day. That's all right. Let's do it, guys. Here, look at these doors. Huge. Alrighty, guys, let's see what we can find. Now, as you enter into Brick Road, to the right is actually the bistro, and to the left are where you're going to find those antique and vintage items. The first room that you're going to happen upon does have some more rustic or primitive items. However, you all know that I am a fan of checking out every booth because you simply don't know what they may have in there. This is a prime example why you are seeing kind of like some primitive early colonial furniture, the Crocs, which I'm not really that into. There are some great children's books over here. For example, we've got the first one here. These have beautiful graphics and illustrations. I am a huge fan of the artwork in children's books. You just find some very imaginative and whimsical illustrations, as well as the vibrancy of the colors. It just brings back that nostalgic feeling of a child. This is an earlier one, a children's garden of verses. This one was from 1932. Right above it on the top shelf here, I do see this little hardbound book. It does have some condition issues with the scotch tape kind of holding it together, but at $2, I simply couldn't resist it. Again, these absolutely gorgeous illustrations. I believe the copyright there did say 1922. So I think it can be, yeah, actually 1922. Given the fact that it's 101 years old, especially being a children's book, it can be forgiven those kind of little condition issues. And again, the whimsical illustrations that you do find in here, I think far outweigh any condition issues. So we're going to go ahead and pick those two books up. Now, as we enter into the next large vendor space, this vendor had quite a bit of amazing Christmas items the last time we were here, and they certainly, while they put it away, have made up for it in other items. These little cardboard houses here, it does turn out that they have labeled it as a Putz or a German village. They do have the collection set up as $95, and you do, of course, get everything. It does look like you could set little lights back there, little circular cutout that you saw. I think it's quite charming. Again, talking about something that's whimsical. I think that is a great price for a collector, but at $95, I did decide to hold off on it. If I were to purchase something like that, I would kind of lot it out or piece it up, and I would hate to do that because it's obviously lived quite the life. So probably early 50s is when that piece came from. Now, this vendor in the past during Christmas time did have these beautiful Dresden ornaments here, and I'm glad to see that they have left out some of the Christmas items. I'm always looking for Christmas. I did decide to go ahead and kind of check back through here just to see if maybe I had missed anything. They are priced very fairly and a little bit below some of the eBay prices I have seen. So definitely keep your eye out on those. A lot of the celestial or the very unusual animals do command the highest price on those Dresden ornaments. Speaking of putts, of course, we see a little bit more of a classical Christmas putts house there. That was cute to see. The little Victorian era candle tree clips there, those are darling. I can't imagine lighting candles on fire on a tree. I mean, obviously nothing could go wrong there. Now in the back here, I did see like a Miro star little candelabra here. I wasn't able to pull it out, so I had to move some things around here. This one's really cute. $20. I think that is quite the steal. It does have an acrylic base and silver there with the original packaging. I prefer the metal ones with like the foil leaves on them. We've got some great hand-blown ornaments here. The little hedgehog, unusual subject matter, obviously are always the ones that command the highest prices. For example, we've got this spooked out little girl here in the pink. She has seen some things. $30. I would say that's kind of fair, especially again when you look at some of the sold comps that you see on eBay. Some are kind of anomalous so far as selling low. People just weren't looking for them at that time. He's he has definitely seen some things. He still has some vibrancy. He's, the little girl, her soul has left her body. Great little lithograph here. This is an earlier one. We talk about lithographs. I think a lot of people do think of the tin toys, the tin lithographs. However, prior to those tin lithographs, you will find paper applied to wood. Those tend to be the earlier pieces, though they were still made up through the 50s, simply as kind of more of a budget conscious toy line there. Cute little misfit wind up toy or battery operated, pardon me, toy dog there at $15. I love finding the little misfit toys. Again, there's just something so charming about them. Did spot a little piece of chenille here. Love a good chenille. Looks like it's a smaller one, almost like it's a cutter. Um, it did almost was like the size of a window panel, but there were some condition issues to it, so I did decide to leave that piece behind. I've actually switched over to the other side of the antique vintage part of Brick Road here. Um, I don't know. I don't know why I did. I just kind of wanted to reverse it. I do see this, of course, Santa sleigh set here. They're really cute. They're like a rotocast plastic. So they're hollow inside, very 50s. I think a lot of you are very familiar with that. I did see this Santa. I think he was here the last time. Fortunately, the glare was getting in my way. So let's go ahead and open it up. He's got personality, that's for sure. And we get a closer look here at the Santa and sleigh, all of the reindeer. I wanted to pick them up because I was like, are you led or unfortunately, it's a little spendy for us at 220. We got the sleigh plus 7 reindeer. No Rudolph, he's on his lunch break, ladies and gentlemen. So there is some cute stuff in here, the little mini ornaments, but those are priced for a collector. I would use those more for craft supplies. Great variety of items that we are seeing in here. Didn't really spot anything that I wanted to get for resale. Really trying to find more unique items to bring to sale. I think that's really important. Oh my gosh, talking about something unique, I kind of regret not getting this. I would have been hard pressed to let this go. A very 50s kind of child's toy here, the little plush horse with the rubber face on him. I was trying to see where the price was. It is here on the bottom. It's only $35, which I think is an exceptional steal. Gosh darn it. I do regret not getting this. I really, truly do. I think he's kind of special and really unique, especially for his age. That plush was pretty good. Same vendor here did have a Halloween blow mold. Love seeing the holidays represented throughout the year. This is, of course, an Empire blow mold. This is a really in demand one with the black cats, and you got the skull and the witch and the pumpkin. Did find this little girl here. This is an Alan J. Squeaker, a lesser known company, but super kitschy at $12. She had a little scuff mark, but I can take a magic sponge to her and we'll get that cleaned up, no problem. She's a little bowler there. So we do have some mid-century planters here. This cute little deer. I love the stuff with personalities. Again, things that kind of they've got an expression on their face, like they've had a day, they're having a day, or they've just had a life. This is really cute. Um, this little pelican flower frog, it is stamped made in Japan. It is reminiscent of, believe it or not, kind of a brush McCoy. They did some very colorful fowl or aviary bird flower frog. So he was cute. 12 bucks I decided to get at. These Frank Miller Studio chalkware fish, they are like near pristine. Look at the back. They're nice and white. The clips are still there. They are stamped 15. This was a steal for these. Now, I did see this little brass kind of Art Nouveau inspired candlestick here. It was only one at $12. I think that's really pretty. I do think it is an 80s piece, a 70s, 80s piece. Not that there's anything wrong with it because it still has an absolutely beautiful look to it. At only $12, I think that was a great bargain. It had some substantial weight on it. But I want it to be the real deal if I'm going to do it. Got a little UV Light display set up here, always appreciate that, especially if you find something in another vendor's booth and you kind of question whether it glows or not. I will walk it over and see if it does. They did have a little chart there that did list all of the different elements in colored glass that would make it fluoresce. So that was pretty cool to see. Cute little art glass here. I thought this would be really cute for St. Patrick's Day to give you a hit of green. $12. It was not of a great quality. So at $12, I think it makes a cute little kind of shopping sustainably piece. But for resale, I didn't really see a whole lot of value on it. Oh my gosh, I see another one of those honeycomb decanters I didn't see in real life. We have been coming across those honeycomb decanters like nobody's business. This flower frog is large and in charge. Always love turning these over because I'm afraid I'm going to stab myself. That one was priced at $30. This was interesting. This little ceramic piece here with a tiny little flower frog. It is glued in there at only $10. It's very specific. I think $10 is quite fair. And you know what? I probably could have got this and this would have had some profit on it, but I don't know why I didn't get it. You got me on that one. The oval shaped here, $20. Again, those prices are really good for the collectors. I'm kind of quite shocked at the value that people assign to the metal flower frog. So it's pretty cool. I did spot a crazy quilt, $55. Look at this, and we've got a popcorn pink chenille backing on it. We do have tattering, some silk milt to it, kind of over time. I think many of you are familiar with some of those older fabrics, especially silks and satins. They do have a tendency to melt. But look at the overall condition on that. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We got that for $55. Yes, we did. Those things can go crazy, especially the condition. It's always the condition on those quilts. Obviously, pristine get you the most. Got some more kitsch over here. Cute little kind of a Relpo planter there, $10. I will say that those very kitschy, youthful 50s planters, there is a market for them. But at $10, I decided I didn't want to take a risk on it. And I knew that a lot of people may say, well, it's only $10, but $10 and you do that 10 times, that's $100. And, you know, it's just about making smart decisions. Love this little quartz panda bear here at $55. He's going to have to stay there on the shelf for somebody else to come along. This vendor has got quite the setup. There are things just everywhere. I will say that they did color block. So for me, I do enjoy color blocking. It does make shopping a little bit easier. I don't know why, if it's some weird psychological, eye to brain kind of thing, probably. But I just think they're easier to shop. So lots of little goodies throughout, but I really wasn't spotting anything. Oh, but we did see some doll furniture. I've been on this miniature kick of late, really wanting to build a doll house. Maybe eventually I will get around to it because I have so much time. I do look for the wooden pieces. Speaking of wood, this cute little blue, almost deer, but horse, I guess. He's adorable, but he's a little folk arty. I think $5 is cute for the right collector, but I decided to leave him there on the shelf. So if you're in the area and you love ya blue horse, he's there waiting for you. We've moved on now into this little case in the front. This is glorious. They did a series of these figurines and they kind of are like leaf and foliage floral kind of pixies, and their dresses are very organic. I do have one. This is only the second one that I have ever found. I love the dynamicness of that pose, so I did decide to go ahead and pick her up for my personal collection. Now, this little planter was really speaking to me. I love the colors that are used on this. There is no hallmark or stamp. It does look old. At $18, I was like, if I got it, I would have been hard pressed to let it go. So I did leave it on the shelf. I do think it is a 50s, 60s piece, though, with a very kind of Victorian Art Nouveau feel to it. Just the quality, the weight of the ceramic, as well as that kind of semi matte glaze. And I did see a little bit of sponging. Uh, a lot of the paint techniques can kind of help give you a better idea as to when a piece was manufactured. Do spot these little lead glass jewelry boxes. I have a thing for those. I think those are great. You can kind of stack them. And they really kind of elevate any little trinkets, or if you do have a beautiful jewelry collection, pop those in there. It kind of keeps the dust off of them, and it adds a beautiful sparkle to any little home decor that you might have. Small spaces, I think those are great. And beautiful, very serene Madonna here. I thought it was a gold bowl. I was totally wrong. It is made in the USA. I can't make out that stamp mark, but I think she is quite pretty. Now, don't get your hopes up. We've seen these Miss Purses here before. They are priced out of where I would need them to be. Um, so they're going to have to stay there. The condition on those is excellent. I will say that it's pretty cool to be able to see two biscuit jars in one location. This teapot was here the last time Richard and I were here. I think it's absolutely beautiful. They did do this in a number of different colorways. I love that Art Deco feel to it. The sculpt, that green with the cream and the silver. It's a beautiful set. And I think, again, talking about St. Patrick's Day or spring summer decor, that most definitely would be a great addition, but it just wasn't, again, priced for resale, and that is totally okay. Got a little cabinet here of smalls. We always want to check out the cabinet of smalls. I love a good small. I thought maybe this is shown hut, but I mean, the overall condition, it's just not there. It's not representative of one of their pieces, and most of them are stamped to make it a lot easier to identify them. Moving on. This is a little bit more of the retro-y vintage kind of vibe to it. Wasn't spotting a whole lot. Now I did spot this pretty little coin dot here, a little Fenton ruffle base, $30. I thought it was, however, it is hollow on the inside, so it would have been most likely a lamp piece, lamp shade. You talk about a refurbished oil lamp there. This piece, when I had originally spotted it, I thought it was perhaps a Robert Hank or a Royal Worcestershire pitcher. The handle is very reminiscent of Royal Worcestershire. However, that maker's mark I did not recognize. I tried Google lensing it. I was not able to come up with it. A lot of then when I used Google Lens to try to identify the piece as a whole was coming up with Royal Worcestershire. It just didn't have the added sculptural elements to make me believe that it was Royal Worcestershire. So at $30, I did decide to leave that behind. Did you see that pause? Because I saw two chenilles in one trunk. So we're going to check it out. Always like checking out the prices before I get too excited about it. The first one here we have at $25, very fair. They did mark that it did have some holes in it. You do see one there. There are some other pinholes throughout. I just decided that the pattern was not dynamic enough. Check out this other one. It says 27.50. Again, it has some condition issues. This one does have a pretty substantial hole that I'm about to show you, as well as some smaller ones. Here's the substantial one. Why am I going to spend more for this when it has more damage? Look at the overall vibe of this. I know many of you are talented seamstresses. You're like, that's no problem. I'll get that fixed up in 15 minutes and it'll look good as new. So yeah, I got that because it is beautiful. It's unusual. The vibrancy of the color. And if you're not overall handy, I know many of you share the ideal principle of saving the vintage, and I didn't want to see that piece end up anywhere other than in somebody's hands that was going to appreciate it. We got lots of vintage ephemera and books. We've got some records. If you don't know, then now you do. I am a huge fan of the Smurfs. This little LP here is only $7. Overall, the sleeve is in great condition. Father Abraham, don't know how I feel about them. Some good records, but again, I'm going to leave those behind for somebody else to come along. Spotted a great trunk here, or yeah, trunk, briefcase. Lots of books here. Always look for those books, the subject matter, the spines. This has got a beautiful look to the spine here. The Franklin edition. I will say this vendor definitely prices their items so that they can sell them, turn them over, and I greatly appreciate it. It's not a vendor that is kind of, how shall I play those? Their vendor space isn't a collector space, right? It's not a storage unit for them. So I always love stopping in this vendor's booth. They just have some great things. Like I said, the prices are phenomenal. The books weren't really speaking to me. Subject matter was a little However, I know at $3 that book isn't going to last there long. It'll be the perfect addition for somebody. I do have a tendency to prefer the browns and greens. This was interesting. The little cookbook here, $2. Okay. The reason that I love getting these cookbooks is because these are the OG recipes, right? These are the recipes that perhaps your mother or your grandmother made, and maybe those recipes are kind of lost. And here is the perfect opportunity to have those recipes again. So I was delighted to pick that up. Again, only $2. I think that was a great deal. Beautiful covers on these. Again, I'm all about the subject matter. She's all about the subject matter. I think she might have seen some things. Don't know what happened in Miss Spender's booth, but sometimes it's best not to ask questions. We've got the home manual clothing for women. Interesting subject matter. Just as I said with the chenille, I know many folks out there, they love to sew. And so I thought this was really interesting. We've got a lot of how-tos, a lot of patterns are in here, different stitches, instructions, how to lay out a pattern, how to cut a pattern, and we even have some color plates, and they're talking about different fabrics. So I think, and trim, you saw there, lace detailing. I think that this was a beautiful book, 1926. We do have an inscription. Again, price was exceptional, so we do get that one. The little world, that little devil there, an angel, you see him kind of flying underneath. That kind of had me questioning. It's all script, no illustrations, a few little doodads in there, but nah. Textbooks of anatomy and physiology. Okay, yeah, let's check this book out, shall we? 1928. Seventh edition. That's okay. Let's see if we've got, we do have some guts in there, some stomachs and spines, the nervous system, veins. Oh yeah, unusual subject matter. These are quite popular and only $5. I most certainly am going to pick that one up. Did spot another anatomy and physiology book. However, this one was from 1914. So let's flip through this one. It's similar to what we just saw. So far, there's illustrations. I love the fact that there are some color plates throughout this one. This one has a few more illustrations. Again, price is right, so we do pick that one up. There is a market out there for everything, folks, including anatomy and physiology, most especially the antique ones. Looking through here, we're in the back of the antique mall. We are very close to wrapping it up here, folks. Hope that you did enjoy the video today. If you're not already subscribed and you've made it this far into the video, go ahead and subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. It's for free. So yeah, definitely do that on your way out. Kind of got some more country accents here, and we're going to add all of these books and mother's magazines into our brimming basket. Did spot these macrame. These were more instructional manuals. So all of these goodies, you guys, we're going to wrap it up outside. Well, guys, there you have today's Shop With Me video back here at blah, 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 blah. Well, guys, there you have today's Shop With Me video back at Brick Rhode Antiques in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. I know a few of you have checked it out because of the video. Incredibly thankful. I know everybody inside was greatly appreciative. If you are in the area, make sure to check them out. You won't regret it, and you have a place to eat added bonus. As always, guys, down in the comments, let me know what your favorite find of the day was or the item you wished I had most picked up. Either works, and I'd appreciate it. And until next time, guys, remember, keep it rusty, crusty, and dusty. Bye, guys.